Africa. The face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome. I'm Ada Masai and this is POA News. Stay with us for insightful coverage on the stories shaping our region and beyond. Zimbabwe has announced an extension of its duty-free vehicle importation policy for safari operators, a move aimed at strengthening the country's tourism sector. The policy, effective as of January 1st, 2026, allows tour companies to import vehicles in buses without standard import duties, enabling modernization of safari fleets and improved service delivery. Finance Minister Mthuli Nkumbe highlighted the initiative during the 2026 national budget speech, emphasizing the government's commitment to positioning Zimbabwe as a leading African tourism destination. Industry projections indicate tourism growth of 3.1% in 2026, reinforcing the sector's importance to the economy alongside mining and agriculture. Additional measures, including tax holidays and incentives within the tourism development zones, are expected to attract further investment in enhanced infrastructure. It contributes to boost Zimbabwe's reputation as a world-class safari destination, featuring the Big Five and iconic sites like Victoria Falls and Hwange National Park. ECOWAS has taken major steps to strengthen food security and pastoral resilience with the signing of the PAPISAO second funding agreement and the launch of the project to support the Milk Offensive and West Africa Milk Development Project. The agreements were formalized by ECOWAS Commission Chairman Dr. Omar Aliyu Toure during a high-level ceremony attended by diplomats and regional officials. PAPISAO second aims to enhance governance of pastoral systems, improve cross-border mobility, and reduce conflicts among communities. PAO-LAO focuses on expanding local milk production, developing dairy value chains, and creating more jobs and entrepreneurial opportunities, especially for women and youth. ECOWAS Commissioner for Economic Affairs and Agriculture, Dr. Kalilu Saila, said the projects have strong transformative potential and align with ECOWAS's broader vision of a resilient and integrated West Africa. The initiatives are expected to deliver tangible benefits to farmers, pastoralists, and rural communities across the region. Samia Yaba Nkrumah, the daughter of Ghana's founding president and passionate Pan-Africanist, shared a heartfelt call for African nations to come together more closely. She emphasized that by working hand in hand in science and technology, the continent can build a future of sustainable growth and genuine independence. During her visit to Ethiopia's Science Museum, she was moved by Ethiopia's remarkable progress in innovation, infrastructure, and education. She described the country as a shining example of what Africans can accomplish when they unite and collaborate. Samia also took time to celebrate important national achievements like the Grand Renaissance Dam and strides in agriculture, seeing them as proof that Africa's growth is driven by the creativity and dedication of its own people. Her words echoed a message of hope and pride for the continent's bright future.
Impressed by Ethiopia's Science Museum here in Addis, and it is how every African country must be thinking. I remember when our father spoke in Addis at the OAU conference 1963, and he made this famous speech, "We must unite or perish," urging African countries to unite. He talked about greening the Sahara Desert with science and technology. And here we are, years later, we see the advancements Ethiopia has made, and not just in agriculture, in the Renaissance Dam. That's excellent projects paid by the people for greater energy, and also in just even holding an educational entity like this one, where students can come and become more interested in science, technology, is a great achievement.
Nkrumah stressed the importance of shared digital platforms, suggesting that Africa could eventually build pan-African data systems and even a pan-African Google if countries pool their knowledge and resources. Echoing her father's landmark 1963 OAU speech in Addis Ababa, she said Africa must unite or perish, adding that combined human, natural and technological capacities could transform the continent.
I hope that African countries, we can collaborate together in how to improve our technology, and one day we'll have a Pan-African Google, Pan-African data systems and everything. A united Africa can achieve any kind of advancement, I believe, in science and technology.
She praised Ethiopia's historic role in African resistance and unity, from the Battle of Adwa to hosting the African Union headquarters, and said her father's statue at the AU remains a symbol of solidarity. Samia Nkrumah continues to promote her father's legacy through the Kwame Nkrumah Foundation, advocating for Pan-African cooperation in innovation, development and economic independence. Algeria has launched the 7th edition of the International Saharan Tourism Festival, taking place from 4 to 6 December 2025 in the historic desert city of Timimoun, about 1,400 kilometers southwest of Algiers. Organized by the government of Algeria, the festival brings together cultural delegations, tourism operators, artisans and desert tourism experts from across the region to promote Sahara-based tourism and strengthen Algeria's position as a leading destination for cultural and adventure travel. The event features traditional music, camel caravans, craft exhibitions, desert sports, and guided tours showcasing Timimoun's striking red architecture and the surrounding oasis landscapes. Officials say the festival aims to boost domestic and international tourism, support local communities, and highlight the Sahara's economic and cultural value. Algeria's Minister of Tourism emphasized that the festival plays a key role in promoting sustainable tourism in the region, attracting investment and preserving Saharan heritage. Organizers expect increased visitor turnout this year, reflecting growing global interest in the desert tourism. The 15th Zuma International Film Festival, ZUFF, held in Abuja, has reaffirmed its role as Nigeria's premier platform for celebrating creativity, talent, and storytelling. Speaking at the closing and awards night, FCT Minister of State Dr. Maria Mahmoud praised filmmakers, actors, and producers for showcasing Nigeria's culture, resilience, and soft power on the global stage. She emphasized the theme, storytelling for global influence, film as a soft-powered economic force, highlighting the film industry's role in diplomacy, cultural promotion, and economic growth. Minister for Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, also noted that ZUFF strengthens Nigeria's position as a hub for African storytelling, international collaboration, and creative enterprise. Both officials called on stakeholders to continue nurturing talent, investing in innovation, and using film to amplify Nigeria's global influence, empower youth, and project the nation's shared cultural heritage. Next up, business news. Africa We Want Summit held in Accra brought together entrepreneurs, innovators, policymakers, and young leaders to accelerate Africa's economic transformation. Centered on the theme Unlocking Africa's Market, Technology, Trade, and Entrepreneurship, the summit highlighted the critical roles of digitalization, innovation, and regional integration in shaping a unified African marketplace. Speaking on behalf of Ghana's Deputy Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Samson Ahi, Kwame Opong Ntim urged Africa's entrepreneurs to seize the opportunities presented by the continent's rapidly evolving economic and digital landscape. With a population of 1.4 billion, home to the world's youngest demographic, he said, Africa stands at a pivotal turning point. Opong Ntim underscored the transformative power of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, which is shifting Africa from fragmented markets to a single economic bloc. A business that starts in Accra should be able to scale to Kigali, Cape Town, Tunis, and beyond, he said, calling for a borderless business mindset. He outlined several initiatives by the Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry to strengthen entrepreneurship, including Ghana's upcoming agribusiness policy, which will enforce higher packaging and product standards to improve competitiveness. He also announced that Ghana Enterprise Agency is rolling out a progressive licensing scheme to help MSMEs become export-ready, supported by sponsored compliance assistance. Now, sport news. Moroccan taekwondo rising star Amina Dahawi has claimed the gold medal in this under 57 kg category at the U21 Taekwondo World Championships, securing a major victory for her country on Thursday in Nairobi. Dahawi delivered a dominant performance throughout the knockout rounds. She first defeated Brazil's Rochales in the round of 16, then overcame Poland's Liswoka Nikolai in the quarterfinals. In the semifinals, she outclassed Iran's Mohammadi Hasti before sealing a 2-0 win over Spain's Carla Cesar in the final. Her triumph begins Morocco's medal tally at the competition to 3. Following 2 bronze medals earned the previous day by Nesha El Assal in the -49 kg category and Iman Khairi in the +73 kg division. These strong results highlight Morocco's growing presence in international taekwondo and strengthen its standing ahead of upcoming continental and global events. Let's review the latest forecasts and see what weather conditions are anticipated throughout the region. That's all from POA News for the hour. Thank you for joining us and stay tuned for more updates from Africa.
They shaped history. They inspired generations. They are the notables. Join us as we honor Africa's greatest minds and trailblazers, the notables, celebrating Africa's icons.
Hello and welcome to The Notables, proudly presented by Pulse of Africa, where we illuminate the people and ideas shaping the continent's most important chapters. Today, we spotlight a leader whose influence extends far beyond politics and public service. Dr. Nkosazana Clarice Dlamini Zuma is a strategist, a reformer, and one of the principal architects of Africa's modern institutional landscape. Her journey from ruler KwaZulu-Natal to the helm of the African Union Commission is a powerful story of resilience, intellect, and an unshakable commitment to Africa's self-determination. In this episode, we unpack the legacy of a woman who rebuilt systems, redefined governance, and helped chart the continent's long-term development vision. Few leaders in modern African history have reshaped the continent's institutional DNA as profoundly as Dr. Nkosazana Clarice Dlamini Zuma, a medical doctor, liberation activist, reformist minister, and the first woman to lead the African Union Commission. Her life's work represents a rare combination of strategic clarity, administrative excellence, and unwavering Pan-African conviction. Across 5 decades, she has moved from ruler KwaZulu-Natal to the pinnacle of continental leadership, not as a symbol, but as a nation builder, a policy architect, and a trailblazer for African women. Her legacy is not theoretical. It is structural, it is continental, and it endures.
First, we must change our mindset. We must understand we are Africans and stop thinking of ourselves as little many countries. Yes, you were born in Ethiopia, I was born in South Africa, but I'm an African. We are an African. There's no difference. You were born in Ethiopia, you're an African, I'm an African. So once we change our mindset. Secondly, we must also realize that nobody is going to develop this continent except ourselves.
Born on 27th of January 1949 in KwaZulu-Natal, at a time when black women were socially confined to domestic work, Dlamini Zuma refused to accept the limitations imposed by apartheid. She completed high school in 1967 at Amanzim Toti Training College, briefly stepping away from academics before enrolling in zoology and botany at the University of Zululand in 1971. She then pursued medicine at the University of Natal, where her political awakening deepened. Here, she joined the liberation struggle, becoming an underground member of the ANC and deputy president of the South African Students' Organization in 1976. That same year, under escalating apartheid repression, she fled into exile. In the United Kingdom, she completed her medical degree at the University of Bristol in 1978, emerging as both a physician and a politically seasoned activist. Her journey had only begun. With the fall of apartheid, Dr. Dlamini Zuma stepped into the arena of democratic governance with a clear mission: rebuild South Africa's crippled institutions. She became health minister in 1994, appointed by President Nelson Mandela. She spearheaded some of the most ambitious reforms in the continent's health sector. She desegregated the health system after decades of racial fragmentation, introduced free basic health care for vulnerable populations, expanded access to essential medicines, strengthened public health administration. Her tenure redefined public health care and laid the foundation for South Africa's post-apartheid health architecture. In 1999, she became Minister of Foreign Affairs. Under President Thabo Mbeki, she became the face of South Africa's foreign policy, a policy grounded in human rights, peace, African solidarity, and multilateral cooperation. During this period, she played pivotal roles in achieving peace in Burundi and the DRC. She championed African-focused diplomacy in the UN. She guided South Africa's leadership in global governance. She witnessed and supported the launch of the African Union in 2002. Her diplomacy strengthened Africa's voice globally and positioned South Africa as a continental leader. She then became Minister of Home Affairs in 2009. Known for turning troubled departments around, she transformed Home Affairs into a model of administrative efficiency, overhauled management systems, introduced modernized process, achieved the department's first clean audit in many years. By 2011, Home Affairs had become one of South Africa's best-performing institutions. In July 2012, Dlamini Zuma shattered a historic barrier, the first woman to lead the AU, or its predecessor, the OAU, since 1963. Her election was more than symbolic. It marked the arrival of transformative leadership. Her most enduring continental legacy is Agenda 2063, a visionary blueprint for Africa's development, unity, industrialization, and peace. Today, Agenda 2063 informs policies, strategies, and investments across all AU member states. It is the continent's development compass, and she drove it into existence. Under her leadership, the AU Commission experienced a cultural shift toward performance-based management, financial accountability, clearer strategic priorities, implementation-driven action. She turned the AU from a dialogue platform into a results-oriented institution. Dlamini Zuma positioned Africa as a coordinated global actor in climate negotiations, trade and investment frameworks, peace and security, governance reforms. She pushed the idea that Africa must speak with one voice and built structures to enable it. She championed the AU Flagships Initiative to end conflict on the continent. Under her leadership, early warning systems improved, mediation capacity expanded, the Peace and Security Council was strengthened. Her peace agenda remains central to the AU's work today.
What is it that we have within Africa to develop Africa for Africa? One, our most precious resource is people. We have a young population in Africa. Other continents, some of the continents are aging, like Europe, they have more old people than young people. So it's a big plus. We can have that demographic dividend if we invest in the young people. How do we invest? Education and skills, health, and make sure that they have all the skills to develop this continent.
Her career has always centered the upliftment of women and youth. At the AU, she advanced gender parity in AU organs, girls' education as a policy priority, continental programs on youth innovation skills, stronger action against gender-based violence. She became and remains a continental symbol of women's leadership. She promoted the African passport, free movement of people, trade harmonization. These efforts formed groundwork for the later creation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, now the world's largest trade bloc by number of member states. Dr. Dlamini Zuma's life reflects an extraordinary trajectory, from student activist to medical doctor, from exiled freedom fighter to minister, from national reformer to continental architect. Her contributions continue to define Africa's strategic direction. She has shaped continental vision through Agenda 2063, modernized AU systems and leadership culture, driven peace and stability initiatives, advanced education, innovation, and youth empowerment, elevated women into positions of influence, strengthened Africa's global standing. Very few African leaders have left such a wide, deep, and lasting institutional impact. Dr. Dlamini Zuma is not simply a South African stateswoman. She is a continental reformer, a strategic thinker, and one of the most influential institution builders in modern African history. Her story is one of transformation, resilience, visionary leadership, and the unwavering belief that Africa's destiny must be shaped by Africans. For these reasons, Pulse of Africa proudly honors her in the notables, as a woman whose life's work continues to shape the Africa we see today and the Africa we are yet to build. On today's edition of The Notables, we reflected on the extraordinary legacy of Dr. Nkosazana Clarice Dlamini Zuma, a stateswoman whose leadership continues to shape the future of Africa. Her life's work demonstrates that true leadership is not measured by titles, but by the lasting transformations it creates. From rebuilding national institutions to guiding the African Union through landmark reforms, her impact resonates across generations. As this episode comes to a close, we celebrate her unwavering dedication to unity, progress, and the Africa that defines its own destiny. Thank you for joining us on The Notables. Stay tuned as we continue to showcase the visionaries and pioneers and changemakers whose lives inspire and shape our continent. This is Pulse of Africa, telling Africa's story with clarity, purpose, and pride.
They shaped history. They inspire generations. They are the notables. Join us as we honor Africa's greatest minds and trailblazers, the notables, celebrating Africa's icons.